In my book, Success Booster, there is something I talk about, which is the multiple source of passive income pyramid. So at the bottom of the pyramid, Nina, you can see asset control. Now, remember what I said about asset control. Asset control is controlling assets that is not yours and making money from it. Okay, asset control, as you can see, is many strategies. We have rent-to-rent, deal sourcing, as you can see in the bottom, packaging, rent-to-own, which rent-to-own is like when you buy a house as a first-time buyer. So when you don't have the big mortgage, big deposit, or bad credit card, you can use rent-to-own, which means you're going to rent the house to the landlord, and the landlord is going to give you an option to purchase the house in the future. Now, when I say in the future, I mean in 5 years, maybe 3 years, when the mortgage is going to finish, okay? Now, you can see this is my strategy. I have asset control, I have asset promotion, in which you can promote my products, my programs, and make money. Up to 25% you can make from recommend people to my products. And then I have asset creation. Asset creation is where you can create books, courses, programs, like mentoring, and teach people how to become successful. And if you do recommend my product and service, you will earn and make up to 25% without doing much, okay? Asset purchase is where you can learn how to purchase property below market value. Now, when I say below market value, Nina, I say cheaper. I'm talking about 20% below market value. You buy the property cheaper, okay? And then you can put less deposit down. And then after 6 months, you can remortgage the property. When I say remortgage, which means you're going to get a second mortgage and the bank is going to give you money. It's called refinance. If you buy a house just to rent, of course, you're going to remortgage the house in 6 months or 9 months. They're going to give you money back. And then with the money they give you, remember, the bank can give you money. You're going to buy a second house. Okay. I will dive more into this advanced strategy. Don't worry for now if you don't get fully the concepts, okay? But I want you to grasp the concept of asset control and risk option, which is the number one tool I recommend all my students to learn, which is controlling assets you don't own, like a property, and make money from it. Now, when you know that, you also want to be promoting my products or promoting any people products, even a company, as long as they're going to pay you money. Every time you recommend the product and the service, they're going to give you a link. It's called an affiliate link. And if people buy the product or the service, which means you're going to get 25% of the value. Let's say my program is £100, okay? If you give someone the link, someone buy the product for £100, which means you get 25% is yours to keep by just mentioning my program, okay? By just someone using the link, okay? This is great. It's called asset promotion. I call it Promote and Get Paid program. Is one of my programs. I'm bringing this to the Portuguese community and Cape Verdean community, okay? So don't worry if you don't get this right now. I'm going to be talking more about this. If you want to make more money, manage it wisely like multi-millionaire, multiply it fast so you can grow, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we launch amazing videos like this. We have 5 money making methods. Remember, I love methods. Methods is the way to achieve financial freedom. So 5 methods. I have rent-to-rent. It's called rent-to-rent HMO. HMO is called houses on multiple occupations. Okay, Nina? It means you can rent the house from a landlord and then you're going to make money by letting the house by individual rooms. Okay? So if you have 3 houses, let's say it's a 3-bed house, instead of renting the 3-bed house to a family, you're going to rent the house to 3 people, and you're going to make more money because 3 people, like let's say students or professional workers, you're going to make more money, and then you're going to pay the landlord the difference. I'm going to talk more about that in the 3rd part. And then you have rent-to-rent SA. Rent SA means service accommodation, which means like a Airbnb. I don't know if you heard about Airbnb.
Airbnb, no.
Airbnb is like a hotel. You know, when you go to a hotel or this place, they rent by rooms. You pay by night, yes?
Oh, bed and breakfast.
Yes, like bed and breakfast, which means you can get the house from the landlords and you say, you know what, I'm going to pay you a high rent. Give me this house. I'm going to rent the house by night. People going to stay there by night and then you're going to make more money. than if you let the house by month.
They pay per day, or they have to pay per
Exactly.
night? Or?
They pay by night. Yes, they can pay. Airbnb is like pay by night, which means you make more money if you let the house to a family, or even if you let the house to 3 people, like a 3-bed house. Don't worry about this. I'm going to cover this more about in the next session because we have 4 minutes left. Okay, and then we have the 5 money-making methods. We talk about rent-to-rent HMO, which is house multiple occupation, which is letting a house for 3 people instead of a family. You're going to make more money. And then you have rent-to-rent SA, which is like service accommodation. Is like bed and breakfast, rent by people come and they pay by nights. And then you have rent to buy, which is rent to own. It's like you're renting the house to the landlord, and then the landlord is going to give you the option to buy the house in the future.
Oh, I heard in the Portugal, yeah.
So it's going to give you the option to buy the house in the future. I'm going to talk more about that in the third part. So you might ask me, why the landlord is going to give you the option to buy in the future? There are many reasons. Don't worry at this stage. I'm going to teach you some reasons the landlords would like to give you the option to buy in the future. Not all landlords are willing to give the option to buy in the future. But again, there are some landlords who are willing to do so. And that's exactly what I did in 2014. Okay. And then you have deal sourcing and deal packaging. Now, Nina, this is like, you are a landlord and I approach you and I say, you know what? You have a house. I'm going to help you to sell the house. And then I'm going to make an agreement with you, using my solicitor, of course. And then I'm going to sell the property to another investor. I'm going to sell it to property. And usually I'm talking about £2,000 to £5,000. If I manage to sell the contract to another investor who is interested in your house, okay, £2,000 to £5,000.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
This is amazing. It's advanced strategy people are using. We, Portuguese and Cape Verdean, unfortunately, we are working like slaves, like mad, and we don't know one in the world, and we are kind of well behind. But I'm ready to stop this madness and bring people to reality. Help people that it's possible to achieve financial freedom, and that you need to be learning the right methods. You need to have a mentor, and you need to be inside a mastermind. And then you have assisted property sales. Now, assisted property sales is where you're going to help a landlord to sell their house. Now, when I say to help the landlord, what I mean is sometimes the landlords cannot sell a house because the house is in terrible condition, okay? It's in terrible condition. Now, the landlord needs to do some refurb. When I say refurb, it means maybe they need to refurb the house, make it beautiful, add value, maybe convert it, add more rooms, and then maybe add a loft conversion, and then you're going to be able to sell the house to a higher price. But if you can do that, it's called assisted property sales, and then you're going to assist the landlord to sell the house. If you do that, you're going to make some money. But of course, you need a contract, and if you do that, this strategy is also called a flip. It's a property flip. It's buy to flip, which means you're going to flip. You're just going to sell it to someone else, and you have to pay a lot of tax, like capital gain tax. Capital gain tax is when you buy the house and sell it, you have to pay tax. You have to pay some duty, which means anytime you buy a property, you have to pay tax in the UK officially. And that's it. Any question, Nina? Because this is where I would dive into any one of these strategies. But unfortunately, we don't have enough time to cover this at this stage. How was this event?
Amazing. It's a lot of information to get in for the first day. But it's amazing. It's a lot of strategies as well, and it's very good to achieve if I want to to achieve my goals and to achieve my dreams as well. Thank you very much to give me these tools. It's a lot to learn.